What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Jones. And this time, y'all, I got the coffee this time. Got a nice little blend of French vanilla with some dark roast with some cookies and cocoa coffee made in the cream in here. Three creams, three sugars and a whole lot of cream. That's why I like my coffee. But today I got a brother of mine who's getting himself into this game, the podcasting game, the YouTube media game. Been known to do for a while, a long time. And
A strong 7, 8, close to 10 years now. Yeah.
and we've been boys for a minute. And he's finally jumping into the realm of the podcasting lane. And give it up for my boy Izzy the Misfit, y'all. Izzy the Misfit. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sipping on his Joe. Matter of fact, before I even speak, let me get mine in.
You got the tall boy over. He got the tall cup of coffee.
Yeah, I had to bring the tall boy out. I had to bring the tall boy out, and he got the water on him too.
Oh yeah.
Hey, be true, be you, hydrate, never perpetrate.
I don't know if this water does anything. This brand, I don't know if it does anything. I don't know.
Hey, look, water is water to me. I don't
That's
care what
how I
they
look
do.
at it. That's how I feel. I
Water
don't
is water to me.
alkaline water, mineral water, flavor. It's water.
Exactly.
It keeps it keeps it hydrated. But yo, man. So
Yeah.
tell people about yourself and tell people about yourself because this is your first time being on this YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel.
That's facts. That is facts. I am the first. It is my first time on
And this is episode 4.
5.
Coffee with Jones. No, 4. It's 4.
We spoke about this yesterday. You said I was gonna be number 5.
No, because I'm not sure if my other person gonna pop through. So this may be 4.
Oh, okay. So this is just a preliminary.
No, it's gonna be 4. No. I mean, it's gonna be. It's 4. It's 4.
Okay. Yeah. So just a little bit about myself, man. First and foremost, yo, how's everybody doing? It's the homie Izzy the Misfit, and you spelled Misfit MXSF to the T. There ain't no I in me. I'd rather not be known. Let God be known through me. That's the tagline. Get used to it. I'm gonna let it go as it is. A little bit about myself. Former military brat. Moved around quite a bit. Came from Colorado. I stay in Georgia right now. I've been here for the last 16, 17 years now, which is about 16 years. This is a pretty long time. I kind of need to change the scenery soon.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude. I've been in Georgia for pretty much the majority of my life. Like the homie June said, I'm just getting started into the podcast game. It was something that I think a lot of people have talked to me about, but I never really jumped into. Not really. I didn't really think about it per se as something that I could really venture into and really make something of. But like it was always a constant thing for me that just to hear about it, people would tell me, yo, I think you should go after it. I think you should do this. I think you would do great with this. And, it really took the homie Joan to like give me the big brother talk and to like really lay into me, like, not really waiting around for something to happen, but, to actually go ahead and do something. And one thing that June will tell you, he's kind of known of me is the fact that I tend to play the cautious type. Like I'm the cautious type when it comes to certain things in life. And there's a reason behind why I am the way I am in that type of aspect. But for me, like doing this right here, this whole podcast thing, or just getting started into it, like, I still got to get a few other things, but, getting my hand finally into something, it feels different. And, it feels like there's a new focus that kind of like just came on.
Right.
So I'm excited to see where everything goes. I don't have a date yet on when it's supposed to pop off. Or I do have an idea of what date I want to start, but that may not be the official start off date. So more to come with that.
Right on, right on. So what the show gonna be about? Before we kick everything off and just start shooting from the hip, like what is your podcast gonna be surrounding? What you gonna be tackling on there?
So the podcast, Misfit Misfit Culture. Uh, I'm gonna have my YouTube, which is Misfit Culture TV, and the Misfit Culture podcast. So that's what I'm gonna be venturing on. That's the name of it. Um, what is gonna be like? What am I gonna be tackling? If you have ever seen Pat McAfee, the Pat McAfee show on YouTube, and Joe Budden, his podcast, if you've seen those, then you are probably going to get a mix of both worlds. That's basically how I want to see my podcast go as.
Right.
Sports is going to be a very heavy topic because I'm heavy into the sports. You can ask my mom and she'll tell you that when I was younger, and she was just talking to me and June about this yesterday. She basically said that when I was little and we had the newspapers, delivered to our house, or when they would throw the newspapers, I would always get it. But instead of reading the comics, I'd always read the sports sections. And then I kind of taught myself how to read the stats and how to read the numbers and how to read the scores and all that stuff. So I've always been into sports and whatnot. So that's always going to be like the main topic. That's going to be like the main thing. But it's not just going to be sports only. Like there's going to be other aspects that I'm going to be touching on as well, like music, like art, like just the day-to-day culture that we live in. And it's not just going to be like me touching on it and moving on to the next subject. Like I'm going to do like in certain situations, I might do a deep dive on a topic, or I might do a deep dive on something that's going on in the world, and like really just give y'all a honest opinion on what I feel is going on, because I feel like in today's world, people are losing that they're losing that feeling of pretty much saying what's on their mind without, you know, without feeling not regret, I would say, but like they basically, I'm gonna be the guy that is gonna speak his mind and not really care what anybody has to say, because in today's society, like you get chastised and you get, you get dragged for having your own opinion that's different from everybody else's. And I want to change the narrative on that. Like you can have an opinion and not really care what anybody else says. So like I said, so like that's why I kind of have that mentality that my show is going to be kind of like a Pat McAfee and a Joe Budden, because both of those guys, if you watch, like they have their attitude and they have their own style of doing things, but they don't care what anybody else has to say of it. Like they have their fun and they have their show the way that they want it, because like that's how they are. And that's something that I want to achieve.
Right. And that's how I started myself. Like I like just the I just like the whole. I started off doing YouTube, like I tell people, 2011, July 4th, 2011. I started YouTube. I had another channel, which was something totally different. That I transitioned to my music channel now. Then I built Jones Street TV, and yeah, it was uphill battle because back that was when YouTube was like fun. Now YouTube is kind of on the rocks right now, but it's getting back to what it was. But when I finally started, like everybody said, "Yo, you got a radio voice, you got this voice, go do it." I said, "Screw it, I take a crack at it," and it's been working throughout the years. I fell off of YouTube. It wasn't until I saw Altitude bring back his show, Sound Check, which I'm gonna be hearing about next week. What's today? Tuesday. So Thursday, y'all gonna be hearing about that. Literally lost motivation with YouTube, and I saw him bring his show back. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and bring the joint back. And yeah, and I got my other podcast with my cousin, my partner Anthony, Kid Phantom, and my cousin Crystal. Um, One Spot Podcast. Check it out on iTunes and Spotify. We out here. Instagram, all that jazz. We out here doing some dope stuff. Like it's fun. to do it. And it's always, I stress to my boy ET over here. I say, yo, man, you got to get around like-minded people to motivate you and push you to do what you do. Because if you don't have anybody backing you, just doing it on your own is easy and it's fun. But you get it's that extra shot of adrenaline that helps you get that first down in a do or die situation. Like, yo, if you don't get it, the game is over and you're losing and you're going home. It's that extra shot, like, yo, hi, I can do this. Get in there and get this first down. And whether it's by air or by sea, you getting that first down. And that's what it's like being around a good team of people and everybody just working together. And the camaraderie is just amazing. And that's why I started telling like, yo, man, go ahead and go for it. Like he told y'all in the beginning. I was like, yo, man, this what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? That's my whole philosophy. What can happen?
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, but for me, like in the same vein, like for me, the reason that I wasn't as adamant on pretty much hopping into it, um, hopping into the podcast game or hopping into doing anything different was because uh, I too, I had lost motivation as well. Like I kind of took a hit to my confidence in a pretty big and pretty weird way in the same time, in the same way. So I in 2019, I wanted to do something different with my life. And I decided to try out as a wrestler. And there was uh a wrestling kind of a show thing like an hour away in this college town called Statesboro. So I went to a show, and at the time I was working at this place called Pier One. I was working at one of their warehouses, and one of the guys that worked there was going to be training as a wrestler as well. And he told me that he was going to, have a tryout and blah, 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 and that I should come check it out. So I'm like, all right, cool. Um, I go to the show because I wasn't able to go to the tryout because, they want to try and keep things kayfabe, and you know how it is. They want to try and keep things along with the storyline or whatever. So I meet everybody, talk to the homie, and I kind of felt dope about it. Like I felt like it was a real good feeling about like, yo, this could be cool. So I decided to go for it, try it out. Wrestling, the whole wrestling being a wrestler thing wasn't going to pan out, but they want to be me to be a manager or whatever. So I was like, all right, that works for me too. Like just let me on the mic and I'll have fun with it. This and a third. Um, I wasn't able to finish at all. Like I had to stop early. And the reason I had to stop was because medical reasons. I ended up going to a chiropractor, and like I went to see if I just get my back pop. That's all I wanted to do. But the chiropractor that I went to, they do things a little bit more detailed and they do it differently. They took an X-ray of my back the first time I went, and they showed me that my back had a slight S curve. And for those of you that don't know anatomy or don't know what I mean, your spine is supposed to have a natural curve that runs straight down your back, but mine had a slight bend to it. And I had always been having this issue with like lower back pain and hip pain or whatever. It would always be either on my left side or my right side. It always like switch. Come to find out that S curve that was happening in my back, it was basically whatever pain I was supposed to feel on my left side was being felt on my right side and vice versa.
Right?
So there was a lot of they basically told me we're gonna have they basically showed me what my back was looking like, this, that, and the third. And I already had felt like the whole wrestling thing wasn't gonna work out for me. Like God kind of like, oh, and another thing about me before I continue on, I wear my faith on my sleeve, so you're gonna hear me talk about God a whole lot.
Oh, they
If
know
that's
what
not
we
your
do on this
thing,
channel.
if that's not your thing, to anybody that's listening out there, I do apologize, but
We don't have to apologize. Oh, they already know what goes on in this channel.
okay, bet. Well, I'm just saying though, you never know. Um, but yeah, like I wear my faith on my sleeve, so I'm gonna talk about that a lot. Like I can't be, I'm not gonna hold back. Um, but yeah, so like I kind of had a feeling that wrestling wasn't going to work out for me. I had prayed to God about it, and at first I thought everything was cool, and then I get this dream that kind of caught my attention, and afterwards I kind of had this feeling like maybe this isn't going to cut out for me, and sure enough, this whole thing with my back comes up, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to stop altogether because I don't know what further damage I could do to my back. And I talked to the guy who runs the show, and he tells me like he understands completely because he has a plate in his neck, and he doesn't, he has like a plate in his neck or around that way in his vertebrae or something like that. So I'm like, bruh, when he said that, it was kind of like an eye opener to me. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is the right decision. And after that, for me, I pretty much just lost complete like motivation to do anything in life. It wasn't like um it wasn't like for me like a complete derailing. It was just okay, well, if I'm not going to do that, then I might as well just focus on work and then go from there. And that's pretty much it. And it didn't really culminate me. It didn't really culminate, me doing um anything else until this point in time. So
Yeah.
really for like a solid year and some change, I've been lacking motivation to pretty much go out and do anything and really put my foot into anything else because my mentality is if I say I'm going to do something, I got to commit 100% into it. I just can't give you 85% because that leaves a 15% window on me not wanting to do it. And if that's the case, then I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, I told a cousin. I told my cousin.
Especially,
Sorry, cause I told my cousin about some stuff like that. Cause like I said, we got the whole nerdy podcast joint, and let's go to this comic book expo when it comes to Dallas next year, and stream from the podcast, do the podcast from the what you call it. I said, all right, that's cool. Like, dang it, we gonna cosplay. And like Junior, you gotta do so. Don't be Mr. Cool. Like, it ain't me being Mr. Cool. I love the cosplay. I'm for it. But I'm not going to be that guy that looks like he just got some fabric and sewed some shit together, excuse my language, and then put something on. I want to if I'm going to say I'm going to be Black Panther, Iron Man, anybody, I'm going all in. My suit going to look like I paid a good $2,000-$3,000 on it. That's how far I'm trying to go with my cosplay. I want to look like he ain't playing. Like you see people do stuff like that. They took some time to make. Yeah, it took me about 3-4 years to get this together. So yeah. So like I agree. Like that's how I feel with everything. Like if you ain't gonna give it your all, ain't no use of doing like cause that's how I normally am. Like I was always just jump and do it. Like just do it just to do it. It really get then I get burnt out. Like I had no structure. So it's like and
yeah,
I had no structure. Now I got structure. I got as I get a little older, get a little wiser, I learn a little structure. All right, let's get some structure in this mug real quick. And now it flows a little better and a little bit more motivated. Once you like I said before, once you get around people that are motivated, that want to do the same thing you want to do, it's like you don't want to stop because you feel like it's not when I say competition, I mean it's literally a friendly competition. You want to outdo your brother. It's ain't in the Bible. I say that to my boy ET all the time. It's like I want to outdo my brothers in a way like, all right, I want to one up you. All right, that's what you bring. You gonna one up me. It's just a one up. It's not like I'm trying to be better than you. Like, all right, I see what you're doing. I see your $5. I'm gonna raise you 10. Oh, you got 10, I'm gonna raise you 20. And then we just keep going and going and going and just going. And just that's how I feel about it. So that's how I go about my situation.
yeah,
And that's how it
yeah.
keeps me motivated because like I said, me and Two just talked about it the other day. It's like, why you ain't doing nothing? Hey, it's been 3 months, man. Where the music at? Once you get that car, it hit like, let me turn some beats on. Let me write some stuff.
Yeah, and you know what though? Like I recently had to talk to somebody at my job about that too. Dude came up to me and was like, "Man, they don't believe in me. They don't. Man, these people don't believe that I could do this music." And I asked him, and I basically gave him the same. I gave him the same speech that I would give June when it came to music. I was like, "Well, what are you doing? Do you have your own? You have your own equipment?" He's like, "Yeah." Okay, then why are you not recording? He's like, "Man, it'd be hard though." I'm like, "No, it's not hard. It's just you got comfortable. You need a good kick in the ass to get yourself back out going again."
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like I told Joan when we would talk about this, he's like, "Yeah, I haven't done anything, I haven't recorded whatever, but this girl sent this to me, and now I feel like I got to get back on it." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm glad she gave you that kick in the ass because I could tell you got complacent. I could tell you got way too comfortable."
Oh yeah, man. Like I said,
And like for me, it's like this. It's like it's easy to have that drive when you don't have everything in hand and then you got to go somewhere to do it.
you
You
hungry.
know, like if you are hungry to go after and do something. But when you have everything that you need to pretty much do what it is that you want to do, you kind of get a little bit comfortable in the process and you don't really stress as hard to like go after it and do, you know, whatever it is that you're supposed to do. And the thing is about that is when you get comfortable, that's when it's really dangerous for a creative because now that creative doesn't feel like they have to give their all or they have to put all their energy into something that they were striving for. But when you live in a constant state of being hungry and being not being full, um like you don't feel like you're full, you feel like you need to continue, like you have to get this because if you don't then you have nothing left or whatever the case may be. When you get into that constant state of mind and you stay in that and you keep on working at it and you keep on grinding, a lot can happen for you. Like a lot of good things can come out of it. But once you get comfortable, it's dangerous because then you start falling into a lull. You kind of plateau when you were kind of like when you were like raising your stock. When you get comfortable, you kind of plateau and you lose that drive, and in turn you end up losing stock. You end up losing, you know, that drive, and you don't feel like you want to do it anymore. And that's something that I don't ever want to see with anybody that has a creative mindset, whether it be June or whether it be anybody else. Like if you have a creative mind and I know you got something going and like I could tell that you have a gift, but you're not putting it to work, I'm gonna try and find a way to push you to do it. But it's on you and it's on that person to like to take it and run with it. You just can't give them the information and give them the advice and give them the drive and then do it for them. Like my mom always says, when it comes to my faith, look, I can show you I can show you what this faith is all about, but I can't live it out for you. I can't be saved for you. You got to do it yourself.
Yep. And I agree. It's like going back to the whole motivation and being hungry. Like I tell you, like you said, before I had this dope stuff I have right now, I was like at two times. I was like every other day. Like anytime I had a chance to go to record my music, I was over there. Like it was literally like I was literally there. I was literally the guy that said, "Man, I can't wait till I get a home." Before I even had a home studio, even when I was like a kid, like yo, I get a home studio, I'm recording every day, man. I'm never gonna stop recording. I can't wait to get it. But soon as you get it, it's like saying, I use the analogy like this. It's kind of like saying the Wildy Coyote and the Roadrunner. He did everything to try to catch that Roadrunner. But what are you gonna do when you finally catch that Roadrunner? What is he gonna do? I don't ever think he even caught that Roadrunner. And I say it to say I said all that as a kid to finally get it. And I don't record like I should. It's not an everyday thing. Like, of course, life and stuff happens, work and everything. But at the same time, I don't record as much as I should. But when I do record, it's like an all day thing. You know, I'm trying to get into the swing. I'm trying to get into the rhythm of like really recording. Cause I don't like one thing I don't like to do is force songs. I don't like to go back and just be on one verse. I mean, I was on a verse one day for like all day, like from the sun up to sundown. Like I was on this trying to get that verse to sound right. And I'm stubborn. I didn't want to rewrite the verse because I like what I had. But I let I finally was, but I just take out some words and just reword it until it flows away. I did, and I told this story before. I rewrote the same song 3 times. I rewrote it, just added, reworded some words. That didn't sound right. Did it again. Then I just said freak it and rewrote the whole song. And it's and what I have now is totally different than what I started with. And in the drive, like I said, it's like that drive, like you said about old girl, it's like gave me that boost, it gave me that shot of adrenaline. I got that first down I needed. So that
She
helped.
kicked your ass, and you know it.
No, yeah, I'll give you that. That was the boost shot of adrenaline. I give that. I needed that. I was like, I got cocky. I got in the pocket. I'm like, yo, I, I was feeling like Ezekiel Elliott, man. No pun intended. Got his jersey on. But you know what I mean? I got paid all that money. Well, I wasn't eating no more. I was like, whatever I get. That's what I was on. I get it. But then everything after that, all my stuff sounds dope now.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying I
like,
ain't trash. I'm just saying like my motivation has been up in the line. I've been recording more than you
nah,
told me to do.
nah, he's saying he trash.
Hell, no, I ain't trash now.
He
I ain't
said
trash
he
now.
admitted it for he admitted it here, folks. He said he's trash. So
Ah,
get in the comment section and roast this boy.
hell no. Go leave Pooey
But
one.
not like,
Izzy the Mxsft
but not like,
Instagram.
but in all seriousness, like when it comes to the whole thing of like being cocky, you got to be careful with that, bro. You got to be careful. Like it's not even just being cocky. Like, oh, I'm the best lyricist, or I could do this better, or I'm good at where I'm at. It's more like you got to be careful with that mindset that you don't got to do X amount as much anymore,
But
because
you
what
want to know
happens
something?
is
You know what? You want to know something? It's not even being cocky. It's like it's one of them things like it's not even being cocky. I'll tell you what it is. And anybody with a home studio can tell you. It's not even being cocky. It's one of them things like I can get to it later. I can do that later. That's man, I don't even you wake up like you can say, I'm gonna record today. Then like, you know what? I don't feel like recording right now. I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes, I'll do it the next day. Cause one, you're not paying no money. Like it's yours. So if you go into somebody else's house or to a big time studio paying 50, $60 an hour, you gotta get up early, gotta go to that session, gotta make every dollar count. But now you got in your house like saying, I get to it whenever. I get to it when I get to it. It's like
and that's
you get
and
lazy.
that's
You
and
get
that's
it makes you
dangerous.
really lazy.
And as a creative, that's a dangerous mindset
It
to
really
even
is.
be
It
in.
is. It
That's a
is.
dangerous mindset to even have, to say, to know that you have the equipment, to have the means to chase your dream right in front of you, and for you to just go, I do it tomorrow, just to brush it off like it's an ordinary thing. If you have, and this is my advice to all the creatives out there, if you have the means and you have the ability to chase after whatever it is you're chasing after, whether it be music, whether it be podcasting, whether it be YouTube, whether it be whatever the case it is, if you have the means to do it, like you have the equipment or you have the funds or whatever, do not ever lose that drive to chase after it. Don't ever lose don't ever lose that that hunger inside of you. Don't ever let the lion get full. Don't let the lion get full, because what happens is when the lion is hungry, they will hunt and they will get their food at no matter what the cost is. But when a lion is full, that's when they're most vulnerable. That's when they're most liable to be taken out by somebody else, you know.
Yeah.
That's when the whole king of the jungle thing decides, you know, kind of like crumples down when you have like your back turned for a second and you feel like you have everything under control. Don't
Yeah.
ever lose that drive, because if you do that, if you lose that drive and you lose that mentality of like, yo, I got to get it, then you really are going to miss out on what could really happen for you, you know, if you kept on, you know, moving forward, you
Oh
know.
yeah. And that's the thing. I get into the groove of like, once I feel like I said, now as a creative, like I pace myself now because one we're in COVID. Two is like we have more time than we probably ever have whenever this world open back up. And then when people gonna be like, oh, there's not enough time today. And like, man, we just had a year of free time to get shit done. But you know, it's like I got so much music out now that's like I don't want to force any music out right now. I want to build. I got a base. I got songs done, and that's any creator. Like you got something done, but then you're like, I want to get this part done. Now I'm gonna get this part done. Then I can focus on putting it out and start promoting and get everything done. It's like one, like I told my boy Izzy right here, like once I get everything, I'm just gonna like I don't even have a date for this project. I don't even know what this is gonna be like. I'm not gonna put nothing out until like the world opens back up to the best of its ability, you know. But other than that, that's how I look at it. A lot of creators get comfortable, like you get to a point where like it's like you lose so much motivation and stuff happens. It's like like I said, that I get to a later mentality is a bitch. It's like so you get a it's like you get a gym, a fully functioning gym in your house. Everything you need to work out with. But then like, you know what? I don't want to work out today. I work it tomorrow. When you pay that membership, when you paying that $9.99 membership, or that $10 membership, or that $15 membership, oh, you going to that damn gym.
Oh yeah.
When you pay
I
that membership,
that oh yeah. Oh no, trust me. I know that from personal experience, bro. I know that from personal experience. And uh the one thing you kind of hit on something, the whole COVID-19 situation that we're kind of in right now, and I hope everybody's doing okay with it. But the one thing that I've always heard is like, look, with COVID-19, this is the best time to be creative because
say it again,
now
say it again, say it
this,
again, say it
this
again.
is the best time for someone to be that is a creative, that has a creative mind. This is the best time that you can literally have on your hands because, you know, as of right now, the world is somewhat opened up again. People are moving around left and right. But at first, when everything was shut down, and if Joe Biden ends up being the president, which we still don't know is going to happen, if he does end up being president, he's going to shut it down again. That's what we're hearing, which is going to blow major. I'm not going to get into that. I don't like talking politics, but yeah, long story short, um, being in this COVID-19 situation, you know, if you are creative, if you have not done anything to like further your creative side or further your creative mind or whatever, dude, then you have wasted all this time. All this time is gone for naught. And for me, look, I'm gonna, like I said, be for me, um, it's I'm a late bloomer, so I'll take the hit on that. I just didn't know what I wanted to do until June over here gave me the big brother talk, and now I'm starting to get things moving in that direction when it comes to the whole podcast thing. And I even said it himself. I even said it to him one day. I was like, bro, like, I really wish, I really wish I would have jumped in this sooner. Like, I don't know why I didn't jump in this sooner. Like, I don't get it.
It's one
Like,
of
I
the things
really
where
wish
I can
I,
explain it to you. I can explain it to you. It's one of the things where, like we say, I believe God has a time for everything. It's one of the things where you weren't ready at that time. Cause I look at it like this. I tell people this. the way I am now, I wasn't like this when I was in school, when I was in high school. Like, if I had this mentality, if I had this mentality that I have now, back when I was in high school, I would have gone completely crazy. Cause that kind that kind of power given to somebody young, and you see what happens to child stars, even when you 16, 17 years old, to what happens to them, how they start and how they look now. None of them are the same people. None of them are the same. So I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm older and a little wiser and and can put two and two together. Like, you know what? That's not a smart idea. Looking back at it now, I probably would have been lost my mind. You know, it's like you can't. It's like if you were like saying it takes a lot of stuff. You got to see stuff like, oh, that's dope. I like that. That's kind of cool. I want to try that. Then you get around like it's like saying if you hang around a lot of musicians, you at every show, kicking it backstage, at the studio, eventually you're gonna want to try to get in the booth and write something. You're gonna want to at least try, at least see how it goes. It's like
Exactly.
you're around it long enough, you're gonna want to try to get let me give it a try. I'm around it enough. I got some I got a couple balls. I could probably write some stuff. And that's how it is. Once you get around people that do are doing the stuff that you thinking and been thinking about doing, you're gonna want to try to do it at least. See how far
Once when you're around that circle of influence, it's gonna just you kind of gravitate to it, whether it's music, whatever it is. Like for me, I was always into sports. Like for me, I was always into sports. So when I was in school, like I wanted to get involved in the school activities. I wanted to get in sports. I always wanted to do football, basketball were my main two. But unfortunately for me, my health wasn't where it is now. Like my health wasn't as
his health
uh,
wasn't his wealth at the time.
bruh, let me tell you, God made me the way that I am. But the one thing that I don't know, like I thought I was pretty good at football. I just sucked at breathing.
Yeah. Like he thought it was good, but the Lord said otherwise. Man, sit yourself down, boy, for you die in
No,
the
and
field.
you know what though? Like, um, if I was able to get into, if I was able to get into playing football or whatever the case may be, whether it's just like a rec team or whatever, I think I do pretty good. I would love to play. Like I feel like I have the body and I have the stamina to do it. Like I remember going to a gym one day with some people I used to work with, and we went to the court because where we were at, they had a basketball court. Go to the court, like just shoot around. These guys came up talking about they needed some players on the team. I ended up running 3 games straight with those guys. The dudes that I was working out with, they had to sit out because they were winded from the first game. I ended up running 3 straight.
Man, okay.
So like for me, I feel like I got the stamina, I got the energy to run sports and whatnot. It's just, at the time when I was younger, my health wasn't at full strength. Like I remember I had an asthma attack that should have killed me. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
I had an asthma attack that should have ended me at 11 years old, but thank the Lord I'm still here. So I've always had that niche to like hop in and do something. And I guess with that and also the whole wrestling thing, it just kind of like knocked my drive a little bit. But now I'm in this vein of like, okay, well, I can still do something with sports or whatever. I may not be playing, but I know I'm going to be still talking about it. And like whenever we do talk sports or whatever, whenever I talk about it with people at my job, like I get very detailed and I'm always like,
You do?
I'm very
You
into it.
do.
So I'm excited to see how this works. But hopefully one day, Lord willing, of course, that I get the opportunity to at least try my hand in some sort of sporting realm, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, whatever the case may be. Because I feel like I could put my hand in it and do something with it.
Right. So man, since we talking sports, how you feeling right now about the whole NFL and the COVID stuff? How you feeling in college? What's your feelings right now?
I really feel like college ball ain't going to last long. I mean, there's a lot of colleges now that are going through a whole bunch of COVID scares. They're having a bunch of like players test positive, and I get the health ramifications. I think there was a Buffalo Bills player that just was just told that he's going to have to miss the rest of the season due to a heart condition that came from uh having COVID-19.
Good Lord.
Yeah, like supposedly COVID-19 is not just a respiratory thing; it's also a neurological and a cardiological thing. Basically, it deals with the nerves, deals with the heart as well. Like there's a lot that's going on.
Right.
Um, but with college sports, although I do love the Ohio State University and I love what they're doing right now, football wise, I got to give Indiana its props. They played one hell of a game, but
Oh yeah.
Ohio
That was
State is
too close. That was too close for comfort for me. That was too close.
too close. Ohio State, they squeaked one out at the end.
Justin Fields was doing too much in that game. Entirely too much.
Yeah.
I fainted. I like, bruh, what you doing? I don't know what he was trying to do, but he was doing way too much, and I didn't like it.
I was at work, but I caught a little bit of the game here and there, and yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, like I like what Ohio State's doing. I get like I kind of like what's going on, but there's too many games being canceled right now. There's too many games being postponed because of COVID-19, and to me, I honestly feel like they're going to shut down the college sports. Like I know that they want to have the college football playoffs, but I just don't see that happening. I can't. The NFL, on the other hand, the NFL, that's a different story. That is a different story. Granted, you've had a few outbreaks, you've had players test positive here and there, but it's not as widespread as what's going on in college.
Yeah.
The NFL is a lot more structured. They do have a protocol that they are following. There are several players that have tested positive and that are underneath the COVID-19 protocols. For me, my Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, he's out. He was out last week against the Eagles because he tested positive. He's going to be out this week against the Jaguars. The Ravens, June's new favorite team. Don't let him. To all the people out there in the world, JunesEightyEIght is no longer an Eagles fan. He is a Ravens fan. Let's get that out the way. He is bandwagon switching.
I never said that. I never said that. I never said that. You ain't got no proof I said that.
He is bandwagon switching.
Why are you lying on me? Why are you lying on me? You gonna say that whole face lie on this live Instagram, on this YouTube channel. You gonna lie on me. You was a cold piece. You was a cold piece.
You know what? No,
you have no proof that I said that. Why are you lying?
I have the receipts. I got the screenshot.
He is lying.
I got screenshots.
Lying to you people. He's lying.
He's sad. He's sad at the fact that my Cleveland Browns beat his Philadelphia Eagles.
He's lying.
Whatever.
I would never leave my Eagles.
I got the screenshots.
Mavs info. That's all we saying. Mavs info.
Mavs info. Oh, you see how he switched it, guys? Like Mavs I said.
Because we all know the Eagles are dead now. They dead. Carson Wentz is a bum. We don't know what the hell's going on. Doug Peterson calling trash plays. Who knows what's going on? NFC East, everybody 3-7. What the hell? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? So you want to talk about teams? Browns ain't been to a Super Bowl in how many years? Huh? You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it? Do the Browns have one of these? Do the Browns have one of these? Do the Browns have one of these? Do they have one? Yes or no? Yes or no? Just yes or no? Do they have one? A hoodie that say that?
Do they have one of these in this era? Recent years.
Do they have this in this day and age? Do they have one?
Oh, in this day and age, no.
Okay, then that's all we got to talk about. That's all we talk about. That's all we saying. That's all we saying. We talk about
but who's 3-7-1
ain't nobody
right now?
talk about that right now. In the words of Uncle Shannon, we ain't talking about that. Don't worry about what we're doing over here. In the words of Uncle Shannon Sharp, don't worry about what we're doing over here.
7-1. and 3. Read it and weep.
That's how you can have that. But you gotta play, but you gonna have to face that good old boy from Kansas City, or that boy from the Ravens, or that boy I would say Cam, but or Big Ben Roethlisberger. You want
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
Ben Roethlisberger?
We got the Ravens in week 14. We got the Steelers at week 17. So we're going to see them again. We have the Titans right after the Jaguars. So, yeah, we're going to have a few games here. We got a few good games coming our way.
I ain't got no expectation for the rest of the season for the Eagles. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't got no expectation.
Hence why he's switching.
Hey. Secondary team. Get it right.
He just admitted it. You just admitted it to the fans.
I didn't admit nothing. I didn't admit it.
So you said secondary team.
Secondary teams. That's all I'm saying. I might. I said I might.
Secondary team.
I might. I'm cutting this out. They ain't gonna know. I'm cutting
it. You better keep this.
Cutting this out, sir.
Okay. Anywho. Like I was saying, the NFL, like I said, the NFL, they do have their COVID protocol. Several players have tested positive. The Ravens just lost 2 of their running backs, so they will not be playing against the Steelers this Thursday.
Man, that hurt. Like, man, J.K. Dobbins been balling.
J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram are both out for this game.
That's bad. Like, that's your 2 of your. Because we all know that J.K. Dobbins about to take Mark Ingram's spot. It's just a matter of time.
Well, I'm going to say this game right here, although they have 2 other running backs, the Ravens, this is a game where Lamar Jackson is going to have to throw the ball. He's going to have to pass it. And I mean, we've seen him throw, we've seen him pass the ball, but he's going to really have to pass the ball. And with the way that defense is playing right now in Pittsburgh, I do not think he's going to have that much success. I really believe Minkah Fitzpatrick and company are going to have a field day. They're going to force some interceptions. I really feel like that could happen. I really do hope the Steelers do win, because as of right now, the Browns are in second place in the AFC North, and I kind of want to keep it that way.
Hey, I mean, I'm surprised that the Browns are balling right now. They didn't beat 2 NFC East teams. Have they played the football team and the Giants yet?
They beat Washington. They beat Washington in week 3, I believe. They beat Dallas week 4, and they beat the Eagles.
That Dallas win. I still can't believe that. I still can't believe that one. That was like, how the hell did that happen? That reverse they pulled, and Odell just gave up on the play. They just gave up on him. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, the fact that they had pulled a 41, they put 41 on their heads. I saw the lead, and it was like 41-14 going into the 4th, and I was like, yep. I was like, yo, I was excited. But the crazy part is Dak Prescott, before he got hurt, was balling out. And I mean, that dude was he'd turn on the switch and he'd lead a comeback. And I have all the respect in the world for Dak Prescott. I really hope that he recovers quickly and that he's stronger than ever when all this is said and done. But to be honest, I want to see him leave Dallas. I don't believe that Dallas is going to be a good fit for him. I don't think that they have his best interest in mind. I really do believe that if all is said and done, like he needs to find a way to request himself out of there, or like try and find another team to play for. Stay in the NFC so you could play the Cowboys twice or whenever, and just show Jerry Jones that this is what you missed out on. But
word is people talk about the Saints want him, but after what that boy Taysom Hill did.
Taysom Hill balled out though.
But tell you something. Okay, Taysom Hill, wait a minute, hold on. Taysom Hill, the only guy that can play running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, corner, defensive tackle, right tackle, left guard. Bro, he can play everything.
This guy, he's the utility player of the Saints. But, and this is an argument that I had kind of when I found out that he was starting over Jameis Winston. When I saw that Taysom was starting over Jameis, I saw that as a disrespectful move. And the reason I said that is because you bring in Jameis Winston as your backup quarterback behind Drew Brees. But what I didn't realize was that Taysom Hill, he's been in the system for like 3 years, for going on 4 already. So it's not like he's a slouch with the Saints. Like, the dude has shown that he's capable of running the offense. And this past Sunday, he did just that.
Oh yeah.
He threw for about 250 and ran for 2 TDs. Didn't have any passing TDs, but the dude showed that he can ball out. And I'm like, okay, you know what? He shut me up.
And if you could see, before we switch gears, what team would you like to see Dak on? Minus the Saints.
If the Saints stay with Taysom Hill,
They probably will.
I would love to see Dak Prescott. I think the Falcons could use a new QB.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sold on. I am not sold on Matt Ryan anymore. I think it's time for Matt Ryan to move on. Just like what they did with the head coach and whatnot. I think it's time for them to move on. Falcons could use a new QB. The Jacksonville Jaguars definitely need a quarterback, especially with all the young talent that they got right now.
I don't want to see Dak in Jacksonville. He needs to stay in the NFC so he can stick those middle fingers up at Jerry Jones at least one time. Twice.
I mean, if we're talking, this is what I'm saying. Let's say that the NFC isn't available. Let's go to the AFC. Jacksonville needs a quarterback.
Okay.
Flat out. They got young talent. They just need some veteran presence. But other than that, though, yeah, I could see Dak in Jacksonville. And we're gonna stay in the NFC. Chicago would be a good fit for him.
Oh yeah.
Chicago would definitely be a good fit. Maybe Washington, but they have Alex Smith right now.
That would be the ultimate FU if he goes to stays
Washington.
You literally get to see your boy 2 times that year.
Matter of fact, I know the whole situation in Washington right now with Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins and all this other stuff that's going on. But I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Dak Prescott in Washington. I think that would be an awesome fit. Like, I believe that team can be a legitimate threat in the NFC East.
Can we talk about it? Dwayne Haskins Jr., what happened to that dude? Like, he was the first round, 5th pick. Wasn't he 5th pick?
He was 15th.
5th. Damn.
Okay, so what happened is everybody was expecting him to go to New York to the Giants because like that was like the prime spot. Like everybody was saying, yo, New York needs Dwayne Haskins. And Dwayne was even saying like, yo, he would like to go. And then all of a sudden they passed up on him to go. New York decides to pass up on him and go to Daniel Jones. And then Dwayne goes to Washington. But here's the thing that a lot of people didn't realize, and that we kind of like gave a pass to that we shouldn't have given a pass.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins has only about maybe a season under his belt college-wise, a season and a half.
Okay, let's talk about it. He had, after JT Barrett left, I feel so bad for JT Barrett because he never stood a chance in the NFL. He didn't get a fair shot. I don't know whether it was because he stayed for the 4 years, whatever. It don't seem like. No,
if we're talking about quarterbacks that stayed for 4 years, like I'm just talking about
Ohio State quarterbacks right now.
I know, but I'm just gonna make this comparison real quick, and I know you don't want to talk about this guy because of what he did to Ohio State after the game.
We going there? I'm over it. I'm
Are we-
over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it now. Nick Bosa
Okay.
got it. Nick Bosa got the.
Yeah, he got the revenge. I saw that game. That was tragedy. Oof. Oof. That was ugly.
All the
That
way.
was ugly. But anywho, Baker Mayfield. If we're gonna talk about quarterbacks that stayed the full 4 years, Baker Mayfield did the same exact thing. He
But he was
walked on
also
Texas
he
Tech.
also won the Heisman too.
Yeah, he walked on Texas Tech, played over there, left for Oklahoma, and then stayed for another 2 years for the rest of the time being. Matter of fact, I think it was like 2 or 3 years that he stayed over there. So he had the full 4 years of college experience that translated to the NFL. Now, his situation is a little bit different. I know a lot of people like to rag on him. They like to say, oh, Baker's not a good quarterback. He can't throw, blah, blah, blah. But, dude, look at what's going on with Cleveland. His rookie year, they fired their head coach like halfway into the season.
Right?
And after that, he has, I can name them all for you. He had Hugh Jackson as his head coach. And then interim head coach was the defensive coordinator, Greg Williams. And then after that happened, they hired Freddie Kitchens, who was the interim offensive coordinator. That was a complete and utter disaster. And now he's got Kevin Stefanski. And this is all within the 3-year span of him playing in the NFL.
Right?
Now, if we're going to Ohio State quarterbacks, the one thing I've always noticed about them, they can play, but they don't have like a lot of experience on them. Like they kind of stay for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then they're out.
I put it this way. I like it like I say this. When I got into Ohio State football, Philly officially got in. That's when they had Braxton Miller. Then he went down. Then Cordell Jones took over. Then Cordell Jones left after the National, and JT Barrett took over. Now, that's when Braxton Miller came back and pulled that hellacious spin move.
I remember that Virginia Tech.
I sent you that.
Braxton.
That was I ain't
Bruh.
never seen nothing like
Braxton running in the middle, spin move.
that. And it's like all three of those guys are NFL quarterbacks. No, JT Barrett, no, Braxton Miller went from a running back, from a quarterback to a wide receiver, didn't do good in the NFL. Cordell Jones, backup quarterback to Phillip Rivers in San Diego, didn't go well. JT Barrett, backup quarterback for the Saints, didn't go well. Only person that had some life in him was the boy, Dwayne Haskins. Now he's on the backup. That's 4 quality quarterbacks that didn't do too well. Now, Justin Fields, I hope there's some life in him.
I hope there's life in him too, but he's gonna have to stick around for one more year. Like, if
because nobody wants to go to the Jets. Nobody wants to go to the Jets.
This is what I'm gonna say. I don't care who you are college-wise. After this season, this whole coronavirus pandemic-filled season, bruh, I'm calling a mulligan. Like, I think a lot of players. I don't think a lot of players are going to be leaving for the draft. I think what's going to happen is they might be eligible to play one more year after all this is said and done.
I hope so.
Because from what I understood, I think the NCAA was talking about after this season, they're going to reallow players to have another year of eligibility to play, even after they graduate, because they know that this year was kind of like thrown out of whack because of everything that happened.
Oh yeah.
So if that happens, if the NCAA actually allows these players to have another year of eligibility, and we have a normal season like inter conference play and actual full schedules and all that, like, we're going to be seeing some of the best football, I believe, next year. I think with everything, and if they allow the fans to come back, it's going to be charged.
Oh, like I said, my boy,
That atmosphere is going to be
I,
supercharged.
like I said, this fool here said he want to go to an Ohio State game in dead of winter. Like, bro, I was with you until you said dead of winter. And me,
You know what though?
now, hold on, wait a minute. I want to go to Ohio State team up north game, but yeah, it's too cold for that. I'll go like to like a bar there and watch it, but instead of sitting in the stands, if I do go, if you see your boy Junes'88, then just know I'm off the sauce. I'm gonna be a few cups of Jack in to stay warm, and that's the only way. That's the only way I can manage. I can't do it. Can't do that kind of cold. That
I grew up. I grew up in the cold. Like
he's some
before I
Colorado.
came,
He's some
before I,
Colorado.
yes, sir. Before I came to Georgia to live here for the last 16 years of my life, I grew up in Colorado and the snow and everything. I'm not gonna lie, it's cold, but I love it. I love that type of weather. It's so peaceful. And what June doesn't understand about weather games is that there's a different type of energy that is brought to life. Like
Right.
I've been to 4 NFL games with my dad. We went to see the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Colts again. The first 3 games we went to were all 1 o'clock games. They were all in the daytime. The last game we went to was against the Colts, and that was actually the game got switched. It went from a 1 o'clock game to a 4:25 game. So we went literally to a afternoon/night game. And let me tell you, the energy is different when it's a night game because that's when the lights come on. That's when like you could tell like there's like a different mood, especially if
Okay.
the home team is winning. Oh, it's the stadium will be rocking in a whole new way.
I noticed that because I remember, I think it was 2 years ago when Ohio State had those night games. They were trash. They lost. They did not play good in night games. I don't know what it was about the night games, but they were like horrible. But now, like you said, like them weather games, they look good on TV, but I don't want to be there. I don't want to
Oh,
be
I do, I do, I do. I would love to go to Ohio Stadium. I would love to go to the Horseshoe. Like my ultimate goal, like one of my ultimate NFL college football goals, since I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, I want to go to Cleveland, Ohio. I want to go to Columbus, Ohio. I want to see the Ohio State Buckeyes play live in their stadium. And then the following Sunday, be in Cleveland for the Browns and see them play live. And I want to see it either let it be a weather game or let it be an actual like a clear night game, like a night game, either one. But I would love to see that live in person. Any type of college game, any type of pro game, pro NFL game, I would love to be there because I feel like the atmosphere and the energy is a lot different when you're there live versus when you're there watching it on TV. And like when the stadium is full, that's what I want to experience. Because I've been there when the stadium is kind of like somewhat full, but I've never been there when the stadium is actually full, like up to capacity.
I want to go to
That's what I want to experience.
them. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't a Penn State fan, but them whiteout games, whew,
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about that for a second?
we can talk about it. We got time.
Bro, okay, I know we're Ohio State fans, but can we talk about some of the best traditions like college football wise? Penn State in their whiteout game. Oh my
You
goodness.
don't
I
see an
love
ounce
it.
of you
I
don't see.
love it.
I like it. I rock with it. Like,
Freaking Wisconsin and the jump around that they do in the fourth quarter.
oh yeah.
That joint raw.
Like,
Virginia Tech enter the Sandman when the Hokies come in.
let me tell you something. Anytime I fun fact, we're wrestling fans also. Anytime I hear that song, I automatically think of the Sandman from ECW. All I do is think of that. That's the first thing I think of. Oh, ECW, ECW. That's
Yeah, if you ever hear Enter the Sandman, you know it's gonna be crazy. Let's see. What else is let's see. You have Clemson running down the hill
we don't talk about
with
Clemson.
Howard's Rock. Um, you have the Tennessee Volunteers running through the T. Uh, there's a lot. Yeah, Boomer Sooner. Yeah, Boomer Sooner at Oklahoma. The whole horse carriage. You got there's so many. There are so many dope like college entrances and themes that happen at these games. It's hard to choose one. It is so hard to choose one. Um, but I think Ohio State has it. I'm an Ohio State guy. Like I'm gonna be biased. I think Ohio State has a pretty dope one. They have their team coming together. They have their little startup be at the end zone and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Freaking the best damn band in the land. Like nothing beats Ohio State. But
Yeah.
um, like I said, like there are other college games that I would love to attend, and I hope to do that soon. Um, I would love to experience just the atmosphere of a college football game because that's the one thing I haven't done yet.
Don't get me wrong. I would now if I got an opportunity to go to a weather game, a cold game, I'll go. I'm not going to enjoy it. I guess once the blood start flowing, you think the team is winning, and the team is actually winning. You ain't losing. It's a difference to be there. You losing and you cold. You just like that, but if you winning and it's cold, it's a whole different feel. You in a good, having a good time. You by people you don't know, they having a good time. We got to touch that. We got to high fiving and drinking and having. Well, if you losing, like man, you see that bullshit. It ain't a good time. But the people
I
that
can tell you, I can tell you a story. I can tell you a quick story. So the very last NFL game me and my dad went to, like I said, was Indianapolis Colts. This was the season finale. This was the season finale in Jacksonville because they were going to be ending their season on the road. This was the final home game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the time had switched. It went from a 1:00 game to a 4:25 game. So me and my dad, we go to the game, right? At this point, at this time, let me just go ahead and put it out there. I was wearing Pittsburgh Steeler gear at the game. Yes. Yes. Give me the look. Okay, let me explain. I bought a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey because there was a bet that I owed somebody. We made me and a guy that I work with made a bet. He's a Steelers fan. I'm a Browns fan. And he had this bet going on saying that if the Browns beat the Steelers and he would wear Browns gear, and if the Steelers beat the Browns, I would wear Steelers gear. So we split the series 1-1. And the week that I guess I went to work, he wasn't there. So I was like, I bet I'll see him when I see him. And also, like, I hadn't worn the jersey in a while, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and wear it. So I go to the game with my dad, and I'm wearing the Steelers jersey. It was a Juju Smith-Schuster jersey, number 19. I go to the game, and like I tell you, like you said, when the energy is different when you're winning and losing. So at first, like Jacksonville was up, and then Indy was up, and then Jacksonville went up, and then they just went off. Nearly dropped 40 on the Colts. And the energy was crazy. Like everybody's excited. They got a strip sack. They got a fumble. Like they scored a touchdown on defense. Everybody's just wilding out. You know, like, oh, we got a touchdown. Oh, my dad finally embraced what it meant to be a fan. It was real dope. There's a guy sitting behind us. There's a guy sitting behind us like a rope, like a seat behind us, literally. And he's on Facebook Live, like showing everybody what's going on in the game and whatnot. He sees me, he's like, hey man, we got a Steelers fan here showing us some love, man. And I was like, yeah, he called me, he hit me with that. I was like, I didn't really think about it at first, but you know.
He was in that mother. Yeah, we do got a Steelers fan. Yeah, wait, hold on. That's me. Ah, damn, Rudy.
Yeah. But it was crazy though. Like that wasn't the only time. Like me and my dad, we go at halftime to get some concessions. And while me and my dad were waiting for everything to clear out to go into the tunnel, I hear this. Boo, Steelers. And I'm like, what the heck? So I look up, there's a guy sitting like right above me. He looked at me, he's like, boo.
Damn.
No, like,
Like I said, I don't know how much time we running on. I don't catch the tape. Don't tell me the time of it. But your quick story about just energy. Me and my mom we go to the St. Patrick's Day parade every year. Every year we go, but we didn't go this year
because it
because
was canceled.
yeah, that and then we didn't go the year before. So I was hot that we didn't go the year before, and I was really mad we didn't go this year because it was canceled. So I talk about energy at these St. Patrick's Day parades. You get around the right people, you get free stuff. You want a beer, you ain't gonna have to buy one because somebody's gonna give you one. Every year, I got free beer. I never paid for a beer anytime I was down there. Never paid for not one beer. Dude, like, oh man, just go reach in with that. Get as many as you want. I got a 24. Get as many as you want. I was like, thank you. I get done. Hey, you want another one? You sure? Ah, fuck it. Free beer. Who ain't gonna turn down free beer? But yeah, man, that energy. But like I say, if I go to one of them games, man, especially one of them, but them games are rival games. So the tickets, you're gonna have to get those tickets 3 years in advance. And man, them games are expensive. Rival games. Them regular games, Ohio State versus that, but them Big Ten games, them rival games, them tickets being ridiculous.
Bro, especially when it's the team up north, boy. Depending where if you are a Buckeye fan and you go up to the team up north's home and they're playing over there, be prepared to get, just be ready. You're gonna
But
get
see,
you will
you
get.
with people at that time. You with people who how they say with the shit. So you ain't really gonna be by yourself. So you really ain't by yourself. You don't have
But
people
still, like you gotta watch your back, bro. You gotta watch your back. But if you in the horseshoe around other Buckeye fans for that game,
like I
oh, you
said.
in for a good time.
Yeah, like I said, you with the people that's with the shit. Everybody gonna be having a good time. And if you
They crossing off every sign in Ohio State that has an M on it because they don't rock with the letter M during that week.
that was new to me when I first became a whole house. And like, what they doing that for? I didn't get it. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, wait, why are they doing that with red tape? And I was like, oh, makes sense.
Oh yeah. But
And then freaking bro, like the horseshoe, yeah, that energy gonna be different.
oh yeah.
I think the I think the one game I remember, the one game between the team up north, it went into like double overtime, and I forgot who it was that ran it in for a touchdown to end it.
It probably was Weber or JK.
I think it was. I know Ohio State had won that game, but it went to like overtime and it went to like double overtime or something like that. Like they just like it was like a double sudden death, and it was like, yo, this is crazy. Like these teams went off, but Ohio State ultimately got the win again. And let it be known on the record that it has been 9+ years since it has been 9 years straight that the Ohio State has beaten the team up north.
And I love that game, those games so much because you get so many epic sound bites and epic moments. Because this right here is forever. You down and you wake up, you see all this around you. You see like a scarlet and white around red, right? Oh damn! Like yeah, you got the Predator, you got BJ, man, you got a bunch. This. Oh, you want to wake up to this? You unconscious. You wake up to that, and you in the shoe.
Chase Young and the crew, all right, or it's like surrounding you. You're like,
is
well,
in the shoe, like bro.
Oh yeah, you in the shoe. You not. Yeah, hey, you Toto. We not in Kansas no more.
And I got bits from this game. I was at my people's house that day, and that score in the fourth was 62-32. That
Wait, are
game
we
was
talking about? Wait, are we
way
talking
much
about
more.
we
Yes,
talking about the rival game
yes,
that
this
they
game.
played in?
I remember that I took a picture of that school. I was hyped. And we was ranked number 10 because we had lost one. This the year we got snubbed. That's the year we got snubbed. We didn't get the
Oh, I remember that year. Yeah.
Purdue
Oh,
got us, and we never came back from that. They held they were unranked, so that was cool. That was understandable. But that one loss to an unranked team, they like can't let you in.
oh no, like yeah, they are really picky about that. Like one law, like an unranked team beating you like that, like what you know, if they squeak one out on you, then yeah, they can probably understand maybe. But if it's like that unranked team just goes off on you, then yeah, you got to take the L.
Oh yeah, that was that game. I believe that that kid passed away. The game after the game, he was sick. He was a big Purdue fan. They played for him.
Oh,
They
that's
was
when Purdue won. Yeah,
yeah, and
I
that
remember. Yeah, he was like
a
I remember
super
you talking about that. Yeah, I remember that game.
I didn't expect nothing less from that game. I was like, you know what? I was like, but I'm like, that loss, that's all it took. Like, man. But yeah, we run along now, man. Yo, tell them how to reach you. Tell them about the show. Tell them everything else. We up on them. Let them know what's going on, what you got going on cooking. Just let them know once again, and we're going to get up out of it.
All right. So if you want to follow me right now, on Instagram, it's Izzy the Misfit, IzzyTheMxst. You can find me there on Instagram, uh, Twitter, Facebook. Well, Twitter. Um, I haven't been on Twitter in a while, so I might have to log back on and get that going again. Like with everything that's gone on, I've kind of stayed off of Twitter and any other social media, but Instagram, I'm kind of sort of on it right now. I'm gonna be active again real soon, so you can find me there. Um, Follow your boy on Instagram. I'll be posting a lot of information. I'll start posting updates on the show, on the podcast, and giving y'all a date soon enough on like when to expect the first episode or maybe an intro as to like when the show is going to start. But yeah, the show, the podcast, Misfit Culture Podcast, Misfit Culture TV. You can find that on YouTube. More information will be coming out on that real soon. Be on the lookout. Like I said, we're talking sports, culture, art, pretty much everything, and everything is going to be touched on it. Um, Everybody's got an opinion, but they can't seem to validate it until now, man. So just follow up, be ready for it, and we're going to have some fun when it happens.
Oh, yeah. And like always, tune in every Monday and Thursday. I'm dropping these. And that's it. You know, it's your boy Junes88. Follow me on Instagram, Junes88, Twitter, just Junes80, and Facebook.com/Junes88. I'm on there. YouTube. I'm on YouTube. What the fuck I'm saying that? But anyway, I'm not saying you get to you forget you on your own YouTube channel sometimes. But yeah, y'all know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and we